Talk About It Tuesdays often stir people up, and this is definitely another one in my unpopular opinion series. Today we're going to look at the collector car market, the trends in the second quarter of 2026. It's not about data and it's not about numbers. It's about philosophies and mindsets that are killing the collector car hobby. Stick around. I'm Mike. You're watching My Car Shop. If you've been around the hobby as long as I have, you have seen a great divide happening, and it's been driven by classic car culture and media, classic car media, and all of that to pushing everybody to spending big money on building cars. Now, we go back to the beginnings, and that was never what it was about. Hot rodding was always about scrounging, and people will say, yeah, well, that was because back in the day there was lots of stuff available. I promise you, there is still crap tons of stuff out there. The problem is you're looking in the wrong places, but that's another subject we've already covered in another episode. We've talked about this mindset before, that once you believe something, you let that control everything you do. And that's what I'm here to challenge. We have seen the fact that if you look at all, and I'm not going to give you the numbers like I said, but if you look at the great divide in the classic car market, the big dollar cars are striving and growing and thriving, because that's a world that you and I just don't live in. I'm talking about the all numbers matching original Air in the Spare. There was only 3 of these made, and it's worth $757,000 million cars. Those people will always have money for those cars. And yeah, the generations are dying off, but there's always another one coming. If you've been around my channel for any length of time, you know I don't spend hardly anything more than $500. If I spend $1,000 for a project car, I've spent a fortune. I've spent more than that in my life. I'm not saying I haven't, and in the rare occasion I might. But generally, especially since the advent of this channel 7 years ago, I've been really drilling down on what you can get for pennies. I mean, we have several examples of cars that were either just basically given to me because they knew they were beyond the repair of what most people could do, and we've talked about that. We have episodes on developing the skills so you have the reputation, so those opportunities are there for you. But most of what I've gotten is scrapyard value cars that I've gotten, some of them from scrapyards. The 70 Challenger is a great example. It came out of a pile, $500. I can just hear the comments now. Yeah, well, not everybody has those opportunities like you do, Mike, so that's unfair. You know what? If you want those opportunities, create them. Develop those relationships. Find those connections. There's episodes here on the channel about that. But I've been looking, I watch Marketplace for deals all the time, and there are some really good ones, and if I was in a different cash position, I might be snagging up a few more. Like I actually have time to take on any more projects. But there's been some good deals. I saw recently, oh my goodness, I drooled on this. It was a 39 Dodge sedan delivery. I think it was a 39. It was a 39 to 47, but I think it was a 39 sedan delivery. I would love to have that vehicle as my daily to replace this. Not that I would get rid of this, but oh my goodness, I would love to have that vehicle and build it up in a rat rod style and make that my daily drive to work year-round, summer, winter, fall driver car. Oh, yeah, it was $1,200. There was another one recently, I think it was a 41 Dodge truck that a buddy of mine found, and I think they were asking $600 for it, and buddy of mine talked to the guy, and we could have got it for like $400. I mean, okay, these are 40s cars, but I see stuff in all vintages like this. The deals are there. It's just, you can't just sit on the toilet scraping Facebook Marketplace and expecting to find those deals. It takes more work than that. Yeah, but I don't have the skill to do what you do, and therefore I'd have to spend a lot of money to buy a car. You know how I got the skill I have? I started doing it even though I had no idea what I was doing. And I kept doing that. And I've been doing that for decades now. And I still don't have any idea what I'm doing. I mean, I would still say that I'm probably a hack, but I'm driving a 73 Dart that, well, this car wasn't the one that I did, but still, I've done a ton to it, and it's my daily driver. And that's the approach that you can have, is I'm going to learn as I go, and that means that things may not be perfect, but they're going to be done, and I'm going to learn, and I'm going to have fun. See, it's all in your attitude. So yes, the disparity between the haves and the have-nots, especially in this economy, and don't dare, any political comments I'm going to delete. Don't you dare go there, all right? Stop blaming whoever you want to blame for whatever's going. I don't give a crap about that. Yes, we all have a reality to deal with in the economy. Why it's that way, I'm sorry. None of us are smart enough to really know why things are the way they are. We just have opinions, and you know what they say about those. Yes, do I think that middle class of cars, not middle class people, but that middle class of collector cars is dipping? Abso-freaking-lutely it is. Maybe we haven't seen just how much yet, but I've seen cars out there that have been for sale for a long time, and people are asking big stupid money. And yeah, you can blame Barrett Jackson, you can blame whoever you want. Again, the fact is, none of us, we have opinions, but none of us are smart enough to know exactly why it is. But I will say this, and this I do know for a fact, this is a business principle. The cost of something is always based upon what people ultimately spend. Okay, so really, whose fault is it? Ours. It's too easy to sit back and play victim. Okay, it's too easy to sit back and play the victim. You know, the only person who's a victim, the one who chooses to be. Overcomers don't see themselves as victims. They see the challenges ahead of them, and they find a way to make it happen. It may take you a while. I got some challenges in my life I've been dealing with now for a couple decades. Not necessarily related to automotive stuff. And yes, I can feel very victimized in it. But I still try to choose to see it as the challenges of something that I really need to find a way through and overcome. You see, I don't need to fight the system. I don't need to fight the government. I don't need to fight society. I don't need to fight anything. We're gonna have an episode coming at some point talking about fundamental rights as it applies to classic cars. We've been brainwashed a lot, but that's just a teaser of something coming. Hint, as one of the people, I have the inalienable right to go about my private affairs, and I have the right to my private property, and the government cannot infringe upon that, period. Teaser. That episode's coming in a while. I need to spend a little more time thinking through my knowledge of fundamental law to lay that out clearly. So where do things stand here in the second quarter of 2026? I think that the middle class and lower class of cars is dying. You can fill in the blank with your reasons. I don't care how you view it. The fact is, there are tremendous opportunities out there if you're poised and ready, both for project cars and for parts. It's all out there if you're just willing to bend your stiff neck, look down, and see what's laying around at your feet. All right, that's going to do it for this one. I appreciate you being here. As I said, I know it's an unpopular opinion, and everybody's going to want to come down into the comments and play victim and blame it on this and blame it on that. Try not to do that. Try to see the opportunities. Tell me about things you haven't thought about before because of this episode. Tell me about the opportunities that you could pursue. Tell me about the people you know and the relationships you could develop and where the junkyards are. And I know, I get it. You live in a different part of the country and things aren't the same as well. They're still there. Those opportunities are still out there. All right, I'm going to shut up. We'll catch you on the next one. And don't forget, it is important.